Thank you for calling Late Night Taco Delivery. If you are calling to place an order, unfortunately the store is closed due to the fact that we are about to record a podcast. We'll be closed for another half an hour-ish. If you're calling to listen to the show, congratulations, you are just in time. So kick back, relax, and enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to Late Night Taco Delivery.
Late Night Taco Delivery!
Yay! I am your host, Daniel Gill.
And I'm Jonathan Knoll.
And we're here to talk about nerd stuff.
As always.
As always. So how are you doing, my friend?
I'm okay. I got some news that does not make me as nearly as happy, but I think for right now I'll survive.
Okay. Well, as you mentioned it to me earlier, so hopefully things will work out fine.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do.
So what have you been geeking out about this week?
Let's see. Just before getting on tonight, I actually watched the first episode of the new season of Star Wars Rebels with my family.
Oh, okay.
I was also getting somebody on for Walrus Cast pretty soon.
Neat. And are you going to give me a hint who it is?
You wouldn't know him, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. And how was Star Wars Rebels?
Star Wars Rebels is awesome.
Really?
Yeah, Billy D. Williams was on the show.
Ooh. Was he playing Lando?
Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
A young Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
Star Wars Rebels takes place between episodes 3 and 4 with a Firefly-esque band of smugglers. So it's a lot of fun.
Nice. I'll have to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's plenty of toys.
And
plenty of toys we sell at our place of employment.
Mm-hmm. And the most recent episode also featured Darth Vader for the first time, I think.
Huh.
Who was also returned by his voice, James Earl Jones.
Damn.
Yeah. This show has cojones.
Okay, I gotta close Facebook because it's like trying to automatically play videos, which is eating up the bandwidth.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah, we should probably tell the listeners where you are.
Oh, I'm house sitting for my parents right now. And I'm using a DSL modem with a Wi-Fi connection, which is notoriously flaky. And we also have a storm coming through, so yay!
Oh, good. So if anything catastrophic happens, listeners, this is why.
Yeah. Well, since I've been basically spending a lot of time alone, I've been finding time to watch movies and DVDs I have not seen for a while. Or catching up on ones I've never actually seen. I watched Akira on Blu-ray the other day.
Oh, and it looks gorgeous.
It looks gorgeous, but you can definitely tell that it was not shot in high def.
Oh, definitely not. It has a lot of the same problems that Fantasia in high def has.
Right. The source material is just not as clean as it could be.
Exactly.
Let's see. I also watched Poltergeist for the first time in years.
And yeah, I saw something about that. How'd that go?
Loved it. Still stands up. It is a beautiful film. I know it was directed by Tobe Hooper, but you can definitely tell the Spielbergian touches in it. And the face-peeling scene was not nearly as long as I remember it being. But like I said, the last time I saw this movie, I was probably in my teens. So it really,
Go ahead.
it really, your mind adds stuff onto it later on. So I remember them being a lot more there. But yes, you said that you've never seen it.
Yeah, I still have yet to see Poltergeist. I have seen The Exorcist, though.
Poltergeist, according to a friend of mine who really likes sick shit, says that
we all have one of those friends.
Yeah, says this and Exorcist are the two movies that really messed with him when he was growing up. So I recommend it highly. It is a creepy film. It's actually based on a Twilight Zone episode.
Excellent.
Called Little Girl Lost. A very similar idea, but a little girl got trapped in another dimension, and a scientist friend of the parents had to figure out how to pull her out. And it's very similar in the design to the Poltergeist, but oh my god, is it a good film. Scary as shit. To this day, I will never like clowns because of this movie.
Did you see that there's a remake?
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
Fair enough.
From what I can see, it's almost shot for shot, except for Nozelda Rubinstein, who played the midget psychic in the first movie, played by an Irish priest in this one for some strange reason. So I just not interested. That's another nostalgia gone bad. It made its money back. That's great for them, but I'm just not up to it.
Yeah. Any plans to see Jurassic World?
I'd like to. I just can't find the time.
Honestly, I really don't have any interest.
As we said at work earlier, basically, we're gonna go in and we know that humans get eaten by dinosaurs.
It's a Jurassic Park movie.
And it's just like, how do you people keep getting liability insurance? Seriously!
Seriously, you can't file this under Act of God because it's your own goddamn fault.
Exactly.
Goddamn. But yeah, honestly, going into a Jurassic Park movie, you almost expect Jurassic Park movie shit to happen.
Yeah. However,
I don't care if you add Godzilla.
Yeah, but it has the movie has beaten Avengers as the fastest pick to cross 400 million, and worldwide it's already over $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess
we're going to definitely get another one.
As good as, yeah, I think this is as good a segue to move into the geek news then.
Yep. It was a slow news week.
Yeah, I'll admit it was a slow news week.
Okay.
Case in point is my first story here.
All right.
Henry Cavill comments on Superman v. Batman. Basically, he made a comment not long ago that Superman would not kill Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And people have asked why. And here is his response, and I quote, "If Superman is Superman, which he is, then he wouldn't. So therein lies your answer." That's all he said.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. There was unfortunately, I don't have the news article in front of me, but apparently for 2018, they are planning, Disney is planning an Indiana Jones film.
Cool.
All news is that they're recasting the part because, Harrison Ford is already 72 years old. By the time they get to this film, he'll be mid-70s. So, right now...
Or a black streak on a golf course.
Yeah, because the man can't fly, apparently, anymore.
Jesus.
Right now, the three frontrunners that are being mentioned to be taking over the part are Christopher Pratt, obviously.
I'm shocked and amazed.
Shocked and amazed.
Oh, look at me! I have the vapors.
Yes, which means he'll be in charge of three major. What's the word I'm looking for? Not sagas, not sequels.
Franchises.
Thank you, franchises. Because it'll be Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic World, and now Indiana Jones.
He's already kind of the Harrison Ford of our generation, so I say let it go to him. But let's hear our other two.
Bradley Cooper.
Okay.
And this one is a dark horse, but I saw a picture of someone photoshopped, and it didn't look bad. That was the weird part.
Okay.
You're gonna scream. Robert Pattinson.
Huh.
I mean, he's a good actor. He is honestly a good actor. He was just saddled with, the Twilight movies.
And Cedric Diggory.
Yeah. But he actually looks pretty good. The Photoshop they did was very, very well done. So, that's one of the ideas they have.
I don't know.
Yeah. Alright.
Speaking of possibilities, and hopefully ones that never, ever can happen.
Okay.
Joel Schumacher. Batman and Robin. Follow-up. Harley Quinn. Courtney Love. Thankfully, it was never done. It never happened.
I do remember those rumors. They were horrifying.
Yeah, they resurfaced for some reason.
Mostly,
Just thought I'd bring that up.
Mostly because the internet can continue to dig that weird shit up.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
But yeah, also, we would have had the Scarecrow as portrayed by Nick Cage.
I'd heard Jeff Goldblum.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It never happened.
Thank God for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. Netflix adapting Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events series.
No shit.
Yep. After bursting the original series scene with premium cable caliber adult fare such as House of Cards and Orange is the New Black, Netflix is entering a new area, live-action family entertainment. They've picked up Awesomeness TV's live-action comedy Richie Rich. The streaming company has acquired rights to the best-selling series of books, The Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket, with plans to adapt them as a live-action series. It's being fast-tracked by Paramount Television, and they were originally behind the 2004 movie starring Jim Carrey, which grossed $209 million worldwide.
It's a tidy profit.
Not bad, but, movie cost quite a lot to make. So,
yeah.
I think it'll work very well as a TV series.
Yeah, I think it'll work well as a TV series, too. I remember reading all the books and just loving them, so...
I've only read the first couple, and I quite enjoyed them.
Yeah, I read all 13, back when I had that copious amount of spare time in my youth.
Yeah.
I really liked them, so...
Well, this is like me and my Kindle. You always see with my Kindle.
Yeah.
Though, I couldn't find it this morning, so I actually had, I just made a desperate grab for a book to read, and I ended up reading one called Ghost Hunting by the people who make the TV show Ghost Hunters on Sci-Fi.
Jesus.
What a pile of steam and crap that thing is.
Did you remember to recharge your book when you were done with it?
No,
Welcome to the 21st century, old man.
Fuck you. No, my mom's really obsessed with ghost stories, and since I'm staying here, I'm just reading what I can. There's some interesting stuff here. I mean, I'm looking over right now at some the books that are just sitting on the bookshelf. We've got Seeking Spirits, Civil War Ghosts, Spooky Michigan, Ancient Irish Tales. I mean, these are books I'm going to get to at some point or not, if I haven't read them already.
Mm.
I
don't actually have any books in the experiment room for good reason, but yeah.
I'm sorry, I got a bad cough today. There we go. All right, my turn or your turn?
My turn, and I'll take two.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger pranks fans at Madame Tussauds.
I heard about this. He dresses the Terminator.
Yes, and it's for charity.
That's funny.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He even squared off against a Terminator costume at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It was great.
Ow, ow, ow. Sorry, I'm being licked by a cat. Pardon me. Oh, wait, shush.
But yeah, it's the classic, if I stand really still and then suddenly say something, people are going to freak the fuck out. And that's exactly what he did.
Arnold he has no shits left to give. He just has too much fun.
Yeah. I mean, the picture I'm looking at him right now is him with all the burn marks, and he's holding a selfie stick.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amusing.
It's fantastic.
I mean, I am a child of the 80s, so, Arnold Schwarzenegger is always going to have a special place in my shriveled little black heart. But I love the fact that he's, he's going into his 60s and he just does not care anymore.
Mm-hmm. Also, do you remember a movie? Actually, you know what? I will save this one for later.
Okay.
Never mind. Do you happen to know anything about the Peanuts movie?
That is born in the deepest pits of hell.
Yep. We have a trailer for it. Like a full honest to God trailer.
All I know is that they're showing their thought balloons in the film, and they're using the original Charles Schultz artwork to show what they're thinking. I
haven't seen anything about that, but the little red-haired girl is the center of the plot.
Huh. Okay.
I I don't usually do plot-centric stories, but with this one I'll make an exception.
Yeah, it might be worthwhile. I don't know. CGI peanuts. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Maybe we can give it a shot, maybe we can't.
Yeah. Alright, so that's 2 for you. Let's see. Winona Ryder to star in supernatural thriller for Netflix. Netflix is really big on creating original content now.
Yeah, and I can dig that.
Winona Ryder has joined the cadre of big-name stars headed for Netflix for TV gigs. Reported is that Ryder is set to star in an as-yet untitled supernatural thriller that is set in the 1980s and is being described as a love letter to the 80s classics that captivated a generation.
So your Poltergeists and your Exorcists, except Exorcist was 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, Exorcist, Poltergeists, the Ghost Story movie with Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly, which I still have to watch one of these days. Basically, the series, a 2-year-old vanishes into thin air. His friends, family, and local police search for answers. They are drawn into an extraordinary mystery involving top-secret government experiments, terrifying supernatural forces, and one strange, very little girl. Ryder plays Joyce, a working-class woman who is the mother of the missing girl. So, it's going to be 8 episodes so far, and it premieres next year. So, yay.
Excellent. Speaking of unnatural forces,
okay.
Rob Zombie.
You son of a bitch! You stole my story.
Yeah, but the segue was just too good.
I'm looking at this story right now. I'm like, damn it! All right, go ahead. Go ahead. You earned this.
Okay.
Fucker.
Rob Zombie to helm, Oren Moverman to script, Groucho Marx pick, Raised Eyebrows, My Years Inside Groucho's House. It's a biopic based on Steve Stoller's memoir, Raised Eyebrows, My Years Inside Groucho's House. And, yeah, Rob Zombie is set to direct.
Yep. It says that it's being told by a young Marx Brothers fan who spent those years as his personal secretary and archivist. Whose mind was I blowing about the fact that Alice Cooper and Groucho Marx used to hang out?
It might have been me. I could be wrong.
Okay, no, Alice Cooper used to just, he hung out with everybody in the 70s. And apparently, Groucho would call Alice Cooper up and ask, what are you doing? Nothing. Come over and hang out. And they would he would go to Groucho's house, and they'd watch old movies on television until Groucho passed out. And then Alice would kind of look around and, to get rid of his beer bottles, and then tuck Groucho in with a little blanket and leave the house. And
I can dig it.
And when the Hollywood sign was being refurbished back in the 70s, Alice purchased one of the letters to refurbish it in the name of his friend Groucho Marx.
Nice.
And apparently Groucho loved Alice because he thought what he was doing on stage was very much like old vaudeville. And apparently there was one show where Groucho Marx and Mae West went to and watched Alice Cooper. Can you imagine that? Can you just imagine the weirdness factor?
You know what? They're like the cool grandparents of Hollywood anyway, especially at that time.
Yeah.
So, I can totally dig it. Seriously, that's like Jim Broadbent going to like, what would work here? Yeah, you get the idea, though. It's like Jim Broadbent going to like a metal concert.
Yeah.
I can totally see it. But yeah. Furthermore, in the, actually no, I'll let you do that one.
Which one's that? Oh, giving me a story? Okay, hold on. Well, apparently, Ron Perlman kicked a huge amount of ass this past week.
No kidding.
Well,
I mean, how is that different from any other week?
Right.
Go on.
Well, he basically took to social media and screamed, "We need Hellboy 3. Tell the studios we need Hellboy 3." And it worked. It is no longer. He's like basically, yeah, I can't even talk about it anymore. It's out of my hands. It's gone way up to the producers. They're already talking. They're getting Guillermo del Toro. They're sitting down having meetings now.
God damn.
So it basically says we owe the fans the finish of the trilogy.
Woohoo!
So come on, before Ron Perlman gets too old, we need to have Hellboy 3.
Yes, please.
As they said, it's in Guillermo's head. He shared enough with me that it'll be mind-blowing. I mean, it will be mind-blowing. It will be great cinema. And if you are somebody... cinema. And if you are somebody who have followed the first two movies, it will be more mind-blowing because we have found something. If you like the first and second one, we're something really going to shock him in the third one. So... And basically the story of Hellboy is, he's the Prince of Darkness. He's the one that brings the apocalypse, and he's been denying himself that for years.
Yeah.
So, getting a chance to, stand up and finally do it will be quite awesome.
Oh, yes. I'm excited.
Yes.
By the way, speaking of movies that got a lot of stuff for...
Okay.
Jurassic World.
Yay!
Killed Pixar's winning streak.
Yep, the first time in a long time that Pixar has not opened at number 1.
Since 1995.
However, the movie still made money. It made over $91 million. So a lot of people watched the movie this past week.
Yeah, Inside Out performed well. It just couldn't outperform Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Or Jurassic World.
So people want to...
Excuse me.
Yeah. So apparently people want to see people getting eaten by dinosaurs more than they want to see the inside of a little girl's head.
Can't you see that in Jurassic World anyway?
Strangely, I can. All right, anyway. Let's see.
And furthermore,
okay.
With Jurassic World, so it outperformed Avengers, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how Steven Spielberg and George Lucas would take out variety ads and basically say congratulations for taking the number 1 spot?
I saw some of this, but go ahead.
Yeah, in a continuation of that tradition, the Avengers just congratulated Jurassic Park.
That was very nice.
Or Jurassic World.
Yeah, Kevin Feige was the one that did that.
Yeah.
That's a classy piece of movement,
Yeah, that's how it's done. I saw this headline and it made me exceptionally happy.
Yeah. It's like I saw when Titanic beat Star Wars as the biggest movie of all time. Mm-hmm. George Lucas paid to have a drawing made of R2-D2 and C-3PO on the Titanic.
Actually, it wasn't just R2-D2 and C-3PO. It was the Titanic sinking with every Star Wars character on it.
Good point. Yes, you're right.
But yeah, it was, yeah.
What the hell am I watching?
So yeah, in a grand tradition of that, we have this. And it makes me happy.
Okay.
That is how Hollywood should act.
Yes, they should be cool. Speaking of Hollywood.
Oh, God.
Let's see here. NBC's Hannibal canceled after 3 seasons.
Seriously?
Yep. Apparently, it was not getting very good ratings, and the 4th season was supposed to involve the character of Clarice Starling. Basically, they were retelling the entire story of Hannibal Lecter, but they could not get the rights for the character. So it finally was just canceled, and the studio is exploring other options. And just sort of like what Constantine did earlier when it was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never actually watched the show, but I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah, I heard exceptionally good things about it, too.
Yeah. It was really, really... They were trying to go for at least 5 seasons, so who knows what's going to happen. Ow. Ow. That's my foot, cat. That's my foot.
Well, that's too bad.
Okay.
Also, speaking of TV, you remember that Hawk Girl TV show we were talking about a few weeks ago?
Vaguely, yes.
It's official and it's in development at the CW.
Nice.
Yep. So, good on him.
Shira Hall will fly again.
Fantastic.
Just want to say once again, Justice League, best goddamn cartoon ever.
Hella
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We also have some sad news.
Oh.
Have you ever seen a movie called The Burbs?
Yes. Many years ago. A Joe Dante film.
Yeah, one of the actors recently died at the age of 62. Rick Ducommun?
That stinks.
Yeah. I died at the age of 62, and he was suffering from complications due to diabetes.
Aw. Well, big bucket of win, my friend.
Indeed.
Let's...
And in, how about you break something else?
Okay. Solo Hulk movie update.
No kidding.
Apparently Marvel can make it, they just can't distribute it.
Yeah, that much I knew.
Yeah, they don't have the right. Universal still owns the rights to distribute any kind of film.
Distribute the Hulk. Yeah.
So they're trying to figure this out. But so far, the Phase 3 plans right up to 2019's Avengers Infinity War Part 2 don't include a Hulk film, but it's obviously very unlikely to come together before then. So the character is rumored to be part of Captain America Civil War, though, so fans can still hopefully get their Hulk fix fairly soon.
Honestly, whenever I hear something about the Hulk, I am automatically reminded of, alright, what goes into a Hulk movie? I'm angry. I want stuff. I want a cure. Can I get a cure? No. Oh, okay.
You know, I've never been a huge Hulk fan. I
like the
character.
Bill Bixby show.
Yeah, I like the Bill Bixby show too. But I like the character, but I've never thought he was strong enough to carry his own film.
Yeah.
He's basically a force of nature.
And he's kind of a one-note character.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously. The Lonely Man song. Da 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 da.
Da,
Da 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 da.
Exactly.
Exactly. You get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
You can only tell that story so many times.
Exactly.
Speaking of Marvel.
Okay.
We now have a reigning Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe.
Oh?
And it's not Peter Parker.
It's Miles Morales?
It is Miles Morales.
Woohoo!
He is the reigning Spider-Man.
Rock on.
And I say good on him.
Yes. It's the character's been around for 50 years. They need to brush it up. They need to make it more exciting. And
Exactly.
Miles Morales is a cool character.
Yeah. So, woohoo!
Yay! Alright, how many stories you got left, sir?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Oof. Go ahead.
Okay. Furthermore, in the Marvel, we have a director for the Black Panther.
Ooh, I had not heard this.
Yeah, actually, we mentioned this a few weeks ago, but it was more of a rumors situation.
Okay.
This time it is official. The director of Selma, Ava DuVernay, will direct the Black Panther.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it. I like the Black Panther. He's a great character.
I agree.
Very interesting setup for for Wakanda, and I'm hoping good things for him. They have not cast the Black Panther yet, have they?
Let's see. I don't think they have.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Okay. I remember years ago they were talking about doing a Black Panther movie, and Wesley Snipes was up for the part. And John Singleton was for the directing chair.
No kidding.
I think it would have been cool. I mean, Wesley Snipes he's an awesome dude, okay?
Yeah. I'll give you that.
I mean, he was already Blade, but still.
And we have Blade back.
We have Blade back?
Yeah, we have Blade back. As in, Blade has come back to Marvel.
Ah, yes. He's probably going to win the Netflix TV series.
Yep.
Interested to see who they cast for that.
I
have two stories,
Did we-
dude. Okay, go ahead.
Did we already talk about the Ghostbusters thing?
Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. But we'll mention it
Okay.
one more time, just in case.
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth is awesome.
Chris Hemsworth is a funny dude.
Big, tall, Australian.
Yes.
Muscular as hell.
Mm-hmm.
We got on!
He's been cast as the receptionist for the new all-female version of Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a great trope. I'm looking forward to this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually the first news I'm actually excited about for this film.
And we also have some set photos.
Oh, really? Oh, yes. Actually, I saw a couple of those.
Yeah, they're looking awesome. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, speaking of people returning or coming back to the franchises, Marvel is really hard courting Kenneth Branagh to come back to Thor.
Yes.
He's coming back for Thor Ragnarok, or at least they're trying to. Because he directed some movie I can't remember, unfortunately, didn't make any money, but he also directed Disney's Cinderella. Sorry, I can't help but mention it, but it made a huge ass amount of money. So, Kenneth Branagh does no wrong in my eyes.
This is true.
I'm a straight man. I had a man crush on him like nobody's business.
That's fair.
Seeing him in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Oof, fucking gingers. Okay. He was hot. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, man. We have some Star Wars news.
Oh.
Yes. Ewan McGregor.
Obi-Wan?
Yes, Obi-Wan.
What's he involved in?
He wants to get back into Star Wars, actually.
Huh.
Because we have the anthology verse here.
Right.
So we can have all of these splinter stories.
Huh.
He's actually wanting to see if he can do any more stories between 3 and 4.
Huh.
I'd like to see this. I would honestly like to know what Ben Kenobi was doing other than, sitting around playing cards with the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn.
I could go
during
with that.
his time on Tatooine.
I could go with that.
Yeah. And Ewan McGregor is a very good Obi-Wan.
He's a fantastic Obi-Wan. He was unfortunately
just
saddled.
dealt a bad hand.
He was dealt with bad hand with George Lucas.
Yeah.
I could go with that.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, cool. Shit.
Or at least it's something that he'd like to do. There's no confirmation, but I'd like to see it happen.
Yeah. All right, I got two more pieces. One is video game related, and one is shit that should not be.
I have two shits that should not be.
All right, I'll go ahead and do my video game one. Featured games from E3 2015 that caught my eye.
Go for it.
All right, number 1, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Heard about it.
We talked about that last week.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 4.
Yes.
I think we talked about that as well.
We did.
Because the dog, I was like, please don't let the dog die. And apparently, they have actually, Bethesda has actually said, no, the dog can't die. Yay!
Woohoo!
3, Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a completely new IP from Guerrilla Games. It's a sandbox game. And the picture they have released involves a woman with a bow and arrow fighting a Tyrannosaurus Rex made of spare parts.
Huh.
I'm interested.
Okay.
Mass Effect Andromeda, number 4.
Another Mass Effect game.
They gotta have Mass Effect games. Number 5 is Mad Max, which
nice.
I've seen the trailer. It actually looks pretty good.
Cool.
I talked to one of my friends of mine who's a huge Mad Max fan. He's like, I'm interested, but I'm still kind of worried. I'm like, well, we're going to give it a shot. So basically, you start the game as Max, your car's been stolen, you've been beaten up, and you basically have to rebuild from there.
I find it interesting that we're having a Mad Max game, especially because the most recent Mad Max was very low on the CGI elements, and a game very high on the CG elements. It's a subtle irony here.
Yes. Number 6, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yep.
No kidding, we get a new Tomb Raider game?
Yep, and apparently her boobs are finally, proportional to her.
Cool.
Let's see, Street Fighter 5.
Yes, I heard about this one.
I'm not sure how I feel about this, because the graphics are getting weird.
Well, we recently had Mortal Kombat X. Or Mortal Kombat 10, I don't really care. But
oh my god, yes. The video I saw of the punching the man's testicles as a fatality. Seriously.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I actually got to see some gameplay of it recently. I was at a party.
Okay.
And we played some of that Well, I don't really play video games enough.
Right.
So I didn't really feel comfortable enough playing Mortal Kombat against any of my friends. Especially because one of them was Dan Nabinger on Gamehaven.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't want to play against him.
I wouldn't want to either.
Yeah.
But, you know,
So, yeah.
we're getting new Street Fighter. I used to play the original Street Fighter. Not Street Fighter 2. The original fucking Street Fighter, where the only character you could choose was Ryu. Back,
You mean Ryu?
Ryu, yes. Back in the 87, 88 at the, video arcade at the Woodlands Mall.
Anytime I hear about Street Fighter, of course I'm automatically reminded of the Starbomb song, which is Ken versus Ryo rap battle. It is hilarious.
All right, let's see.
So wrong, but so hilarious.
All right, number 8, Star Wars Battlefront, which we talked about last week.
Yep. Looks cool.
Looks very cool. My God, the graphics are phenomenal. This is the game that I wanted when I was a kid.
Yes.
Let's see. Number 9 is Xenoblade Chronicles for Wii U.
Okay.
Now, actually, the game I'm really looking forward to the Wii U is a Fatal Frame.
No kidding.
Well, what they're doing is that are you familiar with the concept of Fatal Frame at all?
Not really.
Okay, basically the idea is that you're normally a character in a haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you can fight the ghosts is using your camera.
Interesting.
You actually capture the ghosts. And the Wii U version is you've got the television and you've got your Wii U remote, which is a screen on it, and you actually use that as your camera.
Ah, cool.
And I think that's a really unique idea. And I'm looking forward to when that comes out because the game is fucking scary as shit. Number 10 is Yoshi's Woolly World for Wii U.
Okay.
And there's a couple other lists of games to keep an eye on. We talked about Dishonored 2.
Cuphead.
Yeah, Cuphead, definitely. Star Fox
Yeah,
Zero.
I actually showed my the rest of my family the Cuphead trailer.
Okay.
Everybody wants it.
I'd be interesting to see what your mom thinks of that.
Yeah. We should have her on the show again so we can talk about animation.
Yep.
Further animation.
Kingdom Hearts 3, Super Mario Maker, Dreams, which I'm not sure what that is. But there's a lot of good games coming out.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. E3. It was awesome.
Yes.
Before I get into... Actually, you know what? I'll leave that one for last, because... Goddamn. Here's the lesser of the shit that should not be.
All right.
Princess Diaries 3 is actually happening.
Oh, Anne Hathaway, really?
Yep. It's happening.
All right. Well,
It's been 11 years since Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement.
I wonder if Raven Simone's going to return.
I don't know. And all these people who wrote this article want is to bring back Fat Louie, the cat.
11 years old, I think he's too old by this point.
Yeah, I think you may be right. Kitty Diabetes is no friend of ours.
No, it is not.
So yeah, that's the shit that should not be of the lesser variety. You had one?
Yes. Independence Day 2 official title revealed.
Oh, fuck.
The follow-up for it has been titled Independence Day Resurgence.
Okay, do you want to go with a little more resurrection there?
I
mean, Alien is knocking on your door here, guys.
Let's see here. The cast assembled includes Liam Hemsworth, Jesse Usher, Micah Monroe, and Cilla Ward, as well as returning actors Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Brent Spiner, which I don't understand because he was dead in the first movie.
Yeah, he's fucking dead, man. Let it go.
And Judd Hirsch. And the sequel takes place 20 years after the alien attack. In the ensuing time, the human race has joined forces to organize a global defense system using alien technology to preempt future invasions.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
And my final shit that should not be.
Oh, God. I think I know what it's going to be.
Disney.
Yeah.
Maleficent sequel.
Yeah. I'm numb by this point, dude.
Exactly.
How many weeks have we gone on going, oh, by the way, Disney's doing a remake of this, and a remake of this, and a remake of this, and we're like, no, I don't care anymore. I have reached the point of not giving a fuck.
Disney, the only way you can shock us anymore is by doing a remake of Song of the South.
Oh, no. I know how Disney can shock us.
Uh-oh.
An official studio releases of Disney porn.
Jesus.
By Wicked Pictures. They're the ones doing all the, Batman and Superman parody porns.
Yeah.
And just do Cinderella getting railed up the ass by a mouse.
Oh my God.
This is the hatred I have now. I can't express it in any way that doesn't involve mouse fucking.
Images I really, really didn't need in my head tonight.
You're welcome.
Oh, fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Disney. Yeah.
Just don't.
You've kind of qualified a meh in our shit that should not be this week. Good job.
Congratulations, Disney. Seriously, what the fuck, John Lasseter? You're the guy who's supposed to protect the Disney heritage. Why are you
He's
letting
just
this happen?
animation, though, man.
He should have some say in this.
I don't know.
All right.
I have no hope for Disney. Seriously, there's none.
I'm still going to go visit them in January, and I'm still going to enjoy myself. But, damn, guys. Seriously.
Anyway, to lighten our mood.
Yay!
I have one last piece of news. It's not really geek news, but this is just goddamn funny.
Okay.
Jake Lloyd, arrested by South Carolina police after a 100-mile-per-hour police car chase.
I don't want to steal your line, man, but I'm going to.
And was charged with reckless driving.
This is pod racing!
Oh, God. I honestly don't have the words to describe how funny this is.
Oh, God, yes. He hates his life, apparently. He really hates Star Wars.
Well, if you were just tarred with the epithet of, now this is pod racing, you'd hate your life too.
Yippee!
Oh, God.
He had no choice in the matter. George Lucas ruined this poor kid's life.
Yeah, by making him say fucking yippee.
Yes, many things. Many awful, awful things. So...
I still hate the yippee.
Oh, yeah. Everyone hates the yippee. Well, like I said before,
no!
I think I said in an earlier episode, Michael Segara, I think is his name. He was a kid that was in Sky High and Tusk.
Mm-hmm.
Was such a fantastic actor and had actually tried out for Anakin Skywalker. And the performance he made was amazing.
Yes.
But he wasn't chosen because apparently George Lucas didn't want a world-weary slave. He wanted a, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid that he could destroy.
And destroy he did.
Oh, God,
Which
yes.
Oh, God. He was cruising under the name of Jake Broadbent, just to fill in some details. This is just too funny.
I feel bad for the kid, I really do. And he's still a kid, in my opinion.
Even though he's like 20-something.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, I just want to, I'll make a note. There's a poll up on WWE.com right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy named Kevin Owens. He's a wrestler. And
yes.
he powerbombed Machine Gun Kelly last week on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Machine Gun Kelly's a rapper who started a riot in Bowling Green a couple of years ago, so yay for that.
You gotta have standards?
Yeah, but he powered bombed Machine Gun Kelly, and there was a posting. Which celebrity do you want to see Kevin Owens powerbomb next? By a resounding 62%, Justin Bieber.
Okay.
I would pay money to see that. That would worth.
You have my interest.
That would be worth buying the pay-per-view for that. All right. Anyway, so stories are news is done.
Yep.
Shall
and it
we
is
continue?
Yes, it is time to go into the darker tones of our show, where we look into the genre that is horror.
For those of you who have sensitive dispositions, we do warn you, we will be saying the word blood a lot.
And horror.
Now, this is actually a suggestion you made for this podcast, because I'm not a huge fan of Hammer horror. I've never really watched a lot of it.
Well, I found it interesting because of the variety of people and some really very important names, especially one considering he just recently died. It really gave birth to a movement in British cinema that really has yet to be rivaled. And to believe it or not, Hammer horror is back on again.
Yes, actually. I was going to mention that later in the story, but hey, we'll go ahead and tell you. Daniel Radcliffe, of Harry Potter fan stories, was involved in a movie called Woman in Black, which was a Hammer horror film, and fantastic from what I heard.
Yeah, I heard really good things about it too, and apparently there's a sequel.
Yeah. Not involving him, though.
Just a brief overview. The film company, Hammer Film Productions, was founded in 1934 on November 5th by William Hinds. Hammer Horror is well known for its horror movies.
Yes.
Including those that feature Frankenstein and Dracula.
Yes. Christopher Lee was extremely well known for playing the Dracula character.
And Peter Cushing, his foil as what's his name?
Van Helsing.
Yes, Van Helsing.
I did actually get to see a scene. I watched, for my version of the studying for this episode, I watched a documentary by Mark Geiges. I can't remember his last name. Basically, he's the one that helped write Sherlock
Gatiss.
Gatiss, yes.
Gatiss,
yeah, Mark Gatiss. He did an entire documentary about his love of horror.
Yes, I remember seeing that.
And he did.
I only really got up to the 50s part of it, but it was still really good.
It was very well done. And he talked about the Dracula, which was fantastic. And you see how physical the battle between Dracula and Van Helsing was, Peter Cushing versus Christopher Lee. And I was blown away how good this was. I mean, they're jumping on tables, they're kicking each other, they're beating the hell out of each other, and it was very, very well done.
I mean, it's... And then offset, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing were the very best of friends.
Yes.
I mean, they were inseparable.
They starred in 20 films together, for God's sakes.
Exactly. I mean, there's not much else that you need to know about that.
Now, Peter Cushing had come to known for playing Frankenstein in the Frankenstein movie series, which, from what I was watching, Universal was watching this film very carefully. They couldn't use any of the classic tropes of the Frankenstein makeup. No bolts. No bolts, no large forehead, etc., etc. So they had to basically create everything full whole cloth. And his Frankenstein was much more villainous than any other Frankensteins ever portrayed.
Yeah.
I mean, he straight up murdered people. But Peter Cushing went on to do Van Helsing, Christopher Lee as Dracula, because originally, the funny thing is, Christopher Lee played the Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
And to see him as Dracula, the difference in shift was amazing.
We also have another actor who only really starred in two Hammer horror movies.
Okay.
But he's also really well known for being the body of Darth Vader.
Yes, the amazing bodybuilder David Prowse.
Yes.
Who actually was also in Clockwork Orange.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered that and was like, holy cow, really?
Yeah. In fact, it was Clockwork Orange that gave Lucas the idea, hey, let's cast that guy.
Yeah. Well, Lucas was a huge fan of Hammer horror.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of...
no shit.
Yeah, a lot of modern-day movie directors are really big fans of Hammer horror. No, I'm probably stepping way too forward here, but Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp.
Yes, and Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken and Christopher Lee and Michael Gough.
And Christina Ricci.
Nothing more than... It's literally a Hammer horror film. It's done exactly like a Hammer horror film. Even up to and including the crazy blood effects.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 1958 or 9. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm looking at my information here. Curse of Frankenstein.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, 58. Was one of the goriest films of the time period when Frankenstein's monster got shot in the eye.
Jeez.
And you just see this blood gushing past Christopher Lee's hand. And like I said, Mark Gatiss called it the shot heard around the world. Because it changed everything.
Oh, yeah.
Hammer horror.
I mean, sir,
Hammer horror.
Without Hammer horror, we really don't have the slasher flick.
No, we don't. I mean, it pushed the limits of how much blood would be on screen, how much sexuality would be on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just amazing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've really only seen one or two horror films, unfortunately.
Yeah, I same, honestly. I've only seen Satanic Rites of Dracula, and I think I saw the original Christopher Lee Dracula.
Okay. And I'm sorry, no offense to Bela Lugosi, Christopher Lee is the definitive Dracula.
He's so definitive that when I was writing my one act, I actually named the vampire in the one act Chris. Yeah, all of the characters in my one act were named after classic horror movie actors.
Really?
So the Wolfman was Lon.
Okay.
The vampire was Chris. The Torgo was John.
That's what it was. No, one of the first horror Hammer horror film I ever watched was an A&E back in the early 90s or possibly the late 80s. It was Frankenstein the Monster of Hell. And that actually was David Prowse as the creature.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was just a really freaky looking creature. Well, as with many of kids my age, my first exposure to Peter Cushing was obviously Star Wars.
Yes.
He'd done other things, and when I actually remember seeing movie Top Secret, one of the film made with the Zucker brothers, he played a bookshop proprietor, and I'm like, who is this guy? He looks so familiar. Oh my god, it's Grand Moff Tarkin.
Exactly.
And then later on, as time went on, me and my friends would just go diving into the weird section of Video Spectrum, and we'd rent movies we hadn't seen before, and we loved them. I mean, Peter Cushing.
Absolutely.
Peter Cushing is the definitive Van Helsing. No offense to Anthony Hopkins, he made a fantastic Van Helsing in Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, but Peter Cushing just ran circles around him.
Yeah. You actually believe that this guy is a wizened old vampire hunter with a chip on his shoulder.
He's gone through hell and back, and he's willing to take more. And
he is going to make a cross, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and Christopher Lee, I mean, you can't say enough about Christopher Lee. I mean, we talked about it in the last episode because unfortunately the man has passed away. But,
yes,
god damn it, that dude. He was sexy, he was scary, he was tall, he was intimidating.
He has the voice of a demon.
Yeah, he was Dracula. I actually ended up listening to his
metal album?
Not the metal album. I found on YouTube recordings he had made of Edgar Allan Poe stories. listening to Christopher Lee do The Telltale Heart. Oh my freaking God. You can't get better than that, man. I'm just like sitting there with my headphones on. I'm just like staring at the screen. I'm just hearing him portray the scenes.
You should post this to the Facebook page.
I will have to find it again. And Peter Cushing did a couple other ones. He did like the Fall of House of Usher.
Mm.
But another thing about Hammer Horror, speaking of that,
Mm-hmm.
is how many other studios that they inspired.
Yeah.
Roger Corman, who is very well known for making really low budget horror films, was yeah.
Sorry, every time you say Roger Corman or anybody says Roger Corman, I automatically go Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes, and you should, honestly. But no, he made the Fall of House of Usher with Vincent Price, which is basically American Hammer horror films.
Mm-hmm. Anything with Vincent Price at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
He was also in Mask of the Red Death and a few other movies.
Mask of the Red Death, The Witch Hunters. We were talking about another movie that was inspired by the Hammer horror films was called Black Sunday, which I watched a bit of it on the documentary. Involves a witch being speared in the most horrific way I've ever seen. This was the 60s. They put a metal mask on her with spikes facing inwards and then hit her with a hammer. And I'm not talking like, a little ball peen. I'm talking a big-ass mace hammer.
We're talking like sledgehammer territory here.
Sledgehammer territory. And the blood's just pouring out of her, and it's black and white. But I'm like, oh my God, they got away with this in the 60s? Yeah. There's just some really horrifying stuff that Hammer Horror came up with. But yeah, they did some fantastic work. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They did some. Now Hammer also did some non-horror films, including
of course,
various Peter Cushing as Sherlock Holmes,
including
The Hound of Baskervilles.
We also had Christopher Lee as Sherlock Holmes as well at one point.
I'm having a problem seeing that one.
Christopher Lee as Sherlock?
Yeah. I can so much more see Peter Cushing as that.
Yeah. Either way, though, it's still a jolly romp.
Yep. There was also some they were also known for doing the Quatermass movies. Quatermass in the Pit, Quatermass Experiment, etc., etc.
Yep.
On May 29th, 1968, Hammer was awarded the Queen's Award to Industry in recognition of their contributions to the British economy.
Fair enough.
Yep. Now, in the late 60s, they were having some problems keeping their place in the market.
Yeah.
But they made some really bizarre films by that point, like Dracula 80, 1972, which is about the swinging basically set in swinging London, which no longer existed.
Yeah.
And the totally and utterly bizarre Seven Golden Vampires.
Yeah, there's also the other one where Christopher Lee was there as Dracula, but spoke no words.
Really?
No dialogue. Yeah, Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
Okay. No, the Seven Golden Vampires was the only Hammer horror film that did not involve Christopher Lee. It was actually played by another actor. And it was a co-production with the Hong Kong Shaw Brothers.
Ah.
And I really would like to see that because it just sounds delightfully dumb. But yeah, they got revived back in the late 2000s. They made movies Beyond the Rave, Let Me In, The Resident, Wakewood, The Woman in Black, The Quiet Ones, and The Woman in Black, Angel of Death.
Yep.
So they are still making films.
They're still alive, believe it or not.
Oh yes,
They have returned from the dead.
Whoa.
We need some theremin in the background here.
He's just actually planning on building a theremin. No, seriously, I got a buddy of mine who is like an electrical engineer. He has like an original Moog, for God's sakes.
Jesus.
Yes, and he won't let me.
You should probably explain that for our listeners here.
A Moog was the original synthesizer.
Yes.
Used in a lot of different recordings back in the 60s. It was used by the Moody Blues. It was used by the Monkees. It was used by the Beatles. but it is the original freaking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows how to make a theremin. I'm like, I want to build one.
I'll have a theremin.
I want a theremin. But
it's actually surprisingly difficult to master, but relatively easy to learn.
Yeah. Jimmy Page was very well known for playing a theremin.
Mm-hmm.
From Led Zeppelin. Let's see here. What else we got? Go ahead.
Sorry, when I did the research for this episode, though, I really fell down some rabbit holes, especially when it comes to the 3 actors that we have.
Okay, please explain.
Well, Christopher Lee is the original badass.
Right.
This we know.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Peter Cushing. There is not a single bad thing I could find about this guy.
Really?
Nothing. He's literally the nicest guy of all time.
He seems like a very proper British gentleman.
Exactly, which is part of why Carrie Fisher had some really tough times trying to act opposite him in Star Wars.
Oh?
Yeah, basically, he was so nice that when they were just filming it, she just couldn't get past, oh yeah, totally nice guy. I just can't say, Tarkin, I could sense your foul stench when I was brought on board. Damn it!
Apparently, the costuming department, when they were making Star Wars, gave every one of the Imperial troopers really ill-fitting boots.
Yes.
Up to the point where they actually hurt Peter Cushing's feet.
Mm-hmm.
So he sat down and talked to George Lucas, and he basically said, George, my feet hurt. I can't do this scene. Can we figure something out? So, if you watch the film, you never actually see his shoes because he's wearing slippers.
Mm-hmm. Well,
imagine. I'm sorry. I'm now imagining Peter Cushing as Grand Moff Tarkin wearing bunny slippers.
Yeah. In fact, he got to wear the slippers, and so if you look at the scene where Vader chokes out that guy, you can actually see some of the Imperial officers there just holding back laughter. Because as soon as they stopped filming, Peter Cushing's just like, what's so funny? And one of the guys pipes up and says, Peter, it's your slippers. So yes, and that one's kind of apocryphal. I mean, it needs citation, but
yeah,
it's still fun.
Well, one of the things I actually, when I was doing a little bit of research for this episode, Christopher Lee as Saruman in the final The Return of the King. Mm-hmm. Peter Jackson was a huge Hammer horror fan.
Yes, it shows.
Yeah. So when he designed the death of Saruman, as opposed to the book version, when he's murdered at the end of the 3rd book, during the battle of Bag End,
yes,
instead he gets speared through the heart with a wooden stake as an homage to his Dracula stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, Christopher Lee did not like that because he thought it was in poor taste.
Yeah.
But still, it showed Peter Jackson had a really good affection for the Hammer horror films.
And that makes total sense to me.
As I said, Tim Burton was very much inspired by the Hammer horror films, Sleepy Hollow. Even if you look at the Batman movies, you can see some Hammer horror influence there.
Absolutely.
In the cinematography and the lighting. So they really designed big new stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think
Peter
of
Cushing?
Tim... Oh, there's Peter Cushing, there's Tim Burton, Peter Jackson. I'm thinking Sam Raimi at one point said that he really loved the Hammer horror films.
It shows in Evil Dead.
Yeah. The design of the blood.
Mm-hmm. All of the bodily fluids.
Oh my God, so much body fluids in that movie.
Damn. Oh yeah, Peter Cushing is also well known for playing the Doctor.
Yes, he actually played the Doctor in a couple of the Doctor Who films.
Yes, Doctor Who and the Daleks and Dalek Invasion 2600.
Oh my God, yes. I've never seen them, but I do want to see them.
Or is it 2035? I don't remember. Yeah. He was, again, just nicest guy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
he only would come back for the sequel if the little girl who played Susan would come back
Aw.
to be in the movie as well.
It's a sweetheart. That's just absolutely adorable.
He also, when his wife died, was in the middle of filming, I think it was one of the movies for the Mummy franchise in Hammer Horror.
Mm-hmm.
And when his wife died, he just said, "Look, I can't continue with this movie. I just can't find anything without her." He was literally bereft, so he retired.
Aw.
And basically lived in a small area in England where he was an avid bird watcher and was also a patron of the British Vegetarian Society.
Huh.
Yeah. Really, just I can't find anything bad about this guy.
Yeah. What's this? Oh, apparently Hammer Horror and William Castle collaborated on a movie.
No kidding.
Yeah, called the Old Dark House. It says, however, it's considered pretty sorry stuff, so not worth seeing. It was a remake of a 1932 film of the same name, directed by James Whale, who we should do an episode about at some point.
Yeah, because James Whale is an interesting guy.
Oh, fantastic guy! I really got to watch Gods and Monsters one of these days.
Let's see, what else did I find out? Well, I guess we can move on to David Prowse.
Okay. I know nothing about this dude. I know he's a bodybuilder. I know he worked in Clockwork Orange, obviously, and he also was he helped train Christopher Reeve on Superman.
Yes.
He basically helped bulk him up.
David Prowse is, like you said, a hard person to pin down anything about. Did you know that he's actually banned from going to Star Wars conventions?
Because he can't keep a damn secret.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually found an article. It looks fake, but I want to believe, maybe, where he spoils the ending of Empire Strikes Back.
I'd heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also know
Again, it looks kind of fake, but
I also know he's the honorary leader of the 101st Legion.
Yes.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Let's see, what else did I find out about David Prowse? Meow.
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 Meow. Meow.
I don't know why I keep saying meow.
I don't know.
Makes me happy.
It seems to be like your catchphrase or something.
Yeah, that and moo.
Let's see. He also trained Cary Elwes for his role as Wesley in The Princess Bride.
Really?
Yes.
What did he do? How could you train him? I always thought that what's his name? The sword master was more involved in that.
He, like, personal trainer, like bulking up and whatnot.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Same with Christopher Reeve.
All right, I gotta look at that guy's name. I don't even know what to look for. Shit, sword master. I'm just like, shit, I can't remember the guy's name. No, basically every movie from like Errol Flynn days to Lord of the Rings, this guy was involved in.
Yes, I think his name is Tom something. Sword guy.
Hold on, I'm looking up Princess Bride Swordmaster. Bob Anderson.
Thank you.
Yes, Bob Anderson. Holy shit, dude was in everything.
Wait, and damn good at his job.
Oh, damn good at his job. No, my roommate and I, when I lived in Bowling Green back in 2001, 2002, we every time we bought a movie like Princess Bride or Mask of Zorro or Lord of the Rings, we're like, oh my god, it's that guy. Yes, he's
and he actually shows up in cameo in every one too.
Let's see, he trained Errol Flynn, Sean Connery, Antonio Banderas, Viggo Mortensen, Johnny Depp. And he was a stunt double for Darth Vader's lightsaber battles in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He has been in fucking everything.
Yeah.
His last movie was called Alistrat.
Okay.
Alatrest. It's a 2006 Spanish historical film. And then he passed away back in 2012.
Good on him.
Good on him. Sorry. We went off on a weird tangent there. Sorry.
Well, no. When I went into research this episode, I wanted to go into weird tangents. So, mission accomplished.
Another weird tangent. If you guys have never seen a movie called Candle Shoe, it's a 1977 Walt Disney production starring David Niven and Jodie Foster.
Mm-hmm.
Great sword fight at the end. David Niven does an amazing piece of work. And he was trained by Bob Anderson in that film.
Shocker.
Yes.
But yeah, that's really pretty much all I have on the matter.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of Hammer horror. I know I love the stuff. Mark Gatiss loves the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to do another episode talking more about the influences that Hammer horror had, but we're going to do a lot more references on that. We're going to do a lot more research.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Hammer horror is a subject that's really just tough to crack.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think we've just barely scraped the surface.
Mm-hmm. I mean, basically, it all boils down to Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee are both badasses that did amazing work.
Mm-hmm.
So, Quentin Tarantino can, quote Hammer horror back and forth. Tim Burton, especially.
Yes.
Can do amazing work. Peter Jackson, Sam Raimi. I don't know what to say. I mean, Hammer horror was one of the most influential series of films out there. And they're still doing great stuff.
Hang on.
Okay.
David Prowse wrote an autobiography.
Oh?
Yes. And his title is deliciously awful.
Behind the Mask?
Straight from the Force's Mouth.
You can't hear it, but I'm facepalming. That's awful. That's just so freaking bad.
Yes, but it's so British.
Oh my God. All right. Wow. Just wow.
So.
Oh, that's horrible. No, I'm sorry. I just kind of glanced at my Facebook feed.
Uh-huh.
And it's a series of pictures with Lilo and Stitch.
Uh-huh.
And it's Lilo hugging Stitch as a little girl and a teenager and a young adult and a mature, and then as an old lady, and then Stitch hugging a tombstone.
Oh my God!
I'm just like, sorry, that hurt.
That
hurt a lot.
Ooh.
It's one of the bad things about being immortal is that you're going to watch people die. Thank God I'm not immortal. Holy cow. I'm amazed I'm still alive. We should have an episode of what has Dan done in his life?
Yes, we do.
Because there's stories I've told you, I'm like, oh, by the way, yeah. And you look at me like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah.
Yep. Oh, we would be remiss without mentioning Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Oh, God, yes.
With Leslie Nielsen and Mel Brooks.
Yep.
Yes.
Very much inspired by the Hammer horror films and just, taking loving shots at it.
Mm-hmm. You need to know where you have to stand for your first staking. Boom, 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 boom. He always has to get the last word in.
Well, actually, I remember when I first saw the Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, I was just mesmerized. I honestly thought that was a movie that's going to be studied by film students for years. Because it was so visually stunning. And the funny thing is they used a lot of the same techniques that they used when they made the original silent films.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really good film, and honestly, just watch it. It's so weird and dark and crazy, and unfortunately has Keanu Reeves.
The way I know it best is through Animaniacs, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Have you watched the film?
I've never watched it. No.
Dude, if you love silent films, right?
Of course, I love silent films.
You really need to see this movie. I'm suggesting this as a friend and a vague mentor and your buddy. You need to see this movie.
All right.
Seriously, just sit down and watch it.
I'll go and find it.
Okay, because you're gonna see a lot of the techniques that they used in the early Fritz Lang and James Whale films. They did some amazing work. And I have a dog licking my butt. Would you stop that, please? No, I got up on the couch and I'm just like hanging out, and the dog's like, "Hey, there's a butt crack." Lick, 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 lick. Stop that. Okay, I love you, but you're annoying. Okay.
Which I guess should bring us to our Thou Shalt Not for the night.
Oh shit. What's our Thou Shalt Not?
Well, Hammer Horror is known for doing franchise films, like Dracula and Frankenstein and the Mummy and all of that.
Okay.
What should Hammer Horror not do?
Dumb and Dumber.
Amen! Holy shit!
That's the first thing that popped in my head.
Thou shalt not let Hammer Horror do Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, Thou shalt not... Honestly?
Actually, you know what? The only way that would actually work is if they did it like the Abbott and Costello meet said monster.
Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie.
Please?
That would actually be worth watching.
I want that.
That would actually be worth watching.
Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie meet Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That would be funny as shit. We
Uh-huh.
don't even need to continue anymore than Thou Shalt Not. We've got the perfect one right there.
That is beautiful.
The guys from Top Gear meet the Mummy.
Oh, Christ. Monty Python meets the Invisible Man.
This is an ex-Invisible Man. He's not running for the odds. He has ceased to exist.
He's gone. He's run down the chain and gone to meet Dr. Chapman.
One of the movies that I was actually in the documentary I was talking about was Dr. Jekyll and Miss Hyde. So imagine Dr. Jekyll and Tracy Ullman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why can I not get the Benny Hill theme out of my head now?
Yakety sax.
Oh, that was weird.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, shit.
Share it.
I'm not sure. Hold on. Friend of mine just posted this. Oh, okay. There's a short movie called Lights Out.
Mm-hmm.
Very creepy.
I actually have it recorded.
Okay, very creepy short. James Wan will be producing the full feature film adaptation based on David F. Sandberg's excellent horror short, Lights Out. Just flew up on my feed for Facebook. The horror film will be about a supernatural entity attacking a family with one of the members required to step up to protect them from a threat that can only be seen when the lights go out. Yeah, that's pretty much my reaction.
Huh. Let's see.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
When we do stuff like this, it's like, flies up. Holy shit, what was that? Sorry.
What?
Paranormal Activity, remember that horrible movie series?
Yeah. They're not making another one, are they?
Worse.
How can it be worse than another one?
Virtual reality video game involving Oculus Rift and haptic gloves. 2016. I'm sorry, dude. I report this stuff. I don't try to, I don't editorize it. I just load it up.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a whole article, but I'm not going to read the damn thing.
Well.
So apparently it's being developed for all major head-mounted displays, including the HTC Vive, the Sony's Project Morpheus, the Oculus Rift, and the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
I
need to stop looking at my Facebook feed when we're doing the show.
Yeah, wow. I've
completely derailed what we were doing, weren't we?
Yeah, well, I'm not too worried about it.
However, nothing else, Cthulhu has quit as well. Cthulhu has withdrawn from the race, concedes not evil enough for the modern GOP.
There you go.
Yeah.
I
got nothing.
Yeah. I think that's where we should end the show.
Okay.
So, yeah, from all of us here at Radioactive Walrus Entertainment, I almost said the recording closet. God damn.
Yeah, the experiment room. Yeah.
Yeah, the experiment room in Dan's domicile.
Where I'm currently house sitting for the cats. And the cats have been very interested in what I'm doing today. They've been grooming my hair for the last hour. So
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and the dog is attached to my hip. You bug-eyed freak. Shit.
What?
All right, dudes. I'm sorry. The update has come up.
Oh, no.
James Horner has been declared as dead. I'm sorry, dude. He did die in the plane crash.
Damn.
James Horner, famed film composer for Titanic and Braveheart, did actually pass away. He also worked on films such as Field of Dreams, Aliens, American Tail, and Apollo 13.
As well as Star Trek II, Star Trek III, Krull, Mask of Zorro.
Yeah. Oh, man. I do not want to end the show on this note, but I got no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
His death was confirmed by Sylvia Patriska, who was identified as Horner's music page and his assistant.
It's going to be a quieter world.
Yeah. And we still have Alan Silveresti, and we still have...
we still have John Williams.
Still have John Williams, yes. So, I guess that's it, guys. Sorry to end in such a bad habit, but like I said, I watch my Facebook feed while we're doing the show. Good night, all.
Good night.
We'll talk to you soon.
Late Night Taco Delivery is performed by Daniel Gill and Jonathan Knoll, and was created by Daniel Gill. New Bizarre opening by Jonathan Knoll. If you have questions, comments, or a suggestion for a future show, drop us a line on Twitter at Radio Walrus Pod. Like Radioactive Walrus Entertainment on our Facebook, or subscribe to our official YouTube channel, Radioactive Walrus. That's Radioactive with a capital R, Walrus with a capital W, and no spaces. Thank you for calling Late Night Taco Delivery. You may now place your orders. This has been a production of Radioactive Walrus Entertainment.
John, what do chickens say?